Years and get to our Wiser Lies segment of the day. Backup quarterback Mason Rudolph says he expects to be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2022. Rudolph, quote, "That's my goal, to be a starting quarterback in this league and for our team. And I'm working towards that goal every day," when asked about his 2022 aspirations. So is it Wiser Lies to say Mason Rudolph should be the starter for the Steelers in 2022? Is that wise or is that a lie?
I think it's wise though. Let me explain this real quick. I think it's wise because they give it open competition for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They don't have to draft a quarterback to answer, like, to basically fulfill their need in that. I just think they got three good quarterbacks in behind Big Ben, Joshua Dobbs, Dwayne Haskins, and Mason Rudolph. I think that'd be a good competition. And that out of that group, that should tell you who should be your franchise quarterback. Dwayne Haskins, I'm not sold on him yet because I felt like he was in the poor organization, so he needed to develop. But Mason Rudolph will have the higher chance of being a starting quarterback because he knows the system. So I think if he works hard, put in the work, Big Ben decides to struggle, like, you got to let him play and let him develop. And if he's your guy, that's your guy.
Yeah, I think it's a lie. I don't think Mason Rudolph should be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in 2022, because they're expecting Big Ben to retire after this season. Yeah. So I don't think he should be the starting quarterback. I don't think he's earned it. In 2019, he had 13 touchdowns, just 9 interceptions. You remember Big Ben got injured, that season, missed the rest of the season. Rudolph didn't really impress me. He went 5-3, as his record, 13 touchdowns again, 9 interceptions. I wasn't very impressed with Rudolph very much. I think he's a journeyman at best. I think he's a backup quarterback. He's not a starter. I don't think Mike Tomlin should build his franchise around Mason Rudolph. Give me a break, okay? I think they really need to try to find a quarterback in the draft this upcoming season. And I'm going to be honest, I'd rather have Dwayne Haskins than Mason Rudolph.
I wouldn't because he doesn't know the system. But, that's your opinion, though. Yeah. But that was a great take, though. So, look, according to reports, the Dallas Mavericks forward and center, Kristaps Porzingis, is unhappy with his role on the team. And he feel like he's an afterthought instead of a superstar because of Luka Doncic. So is it wise to say the Mavericks need to move on from Kristaps Porzingis?
I think it's wise to say the Mavericks need to move on from Kristaps Porzingis because Kristaps Porzingis has been inconsistent. And like I told you the other day on the show, I believe he's a great role player at best. Okay? Like, he's not a star anymore. Okay? For whatever reason, Kristaps Porzingis is not the same player that he once was in New York. I told you. At one point, I used to compare Porzingis to Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
And I thought that he was going to be one of the best big men in the game. Clarence, that's not happening. If anything, he's a taller Kyle Kuzma. He's not very good. He's just not very good. Kristaps Porzingis isn't getting the job done. And if you want to win a championship with Luka Doncic, you need to bring in a consistent second star for your team if you Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks. It's time to move on for Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's wise that they need to move on because he doesn't fit the scheme. He's not dependable because he's always hurt. And every time he does come back from injury, it's a new injury coming up. So that right there is like sold me like, yeah, I think they need to move on from him because he doesn't fit the scheme. He's not dependable. So I think they do need to move on, bring in somebody that's like not a non-injured guy and someone that fits the scheme and like that can give you what Luka be handing out.
No, I agree with you completely. Like, I mean, this dude is 7'3", and he's always shooting perimeter shots.
Yeah.
Like, get down in the post, get some post moves, okay? Get down the paint and hit easy shots. Why are you always on the perimeter shooting perimeter shots? It doesn't make any sense to me. That's my biggest issue with Kristaps Porzingis. You need to get down in the post. You too big to be hitting shooting perimeter shots.
Yeah.
And then you don't even hit perimeter shots at a high level to be shooting them like you do.
Yeah.
If you're going to shoot perimeter shots, at least make them. He don't even make his perimeter shots.
Yeah, he just. I just think in that aspect, he's not confident in his 3-point shooting though, Trey. I just think he got so much pressure on him. He's getting more money than Giannis, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic, the MVP. He's making more money than all of them, and they're playing way better than him.
For sure.
So he's not coming up. He's basically fumbling the bag.
New Titans receiver Julio Jones declined A.J. Brown's offer to give him number 11. So is it wise or lies to say Jones should have accepted the offer from A.J. Brown?
I think it's lies, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people want to have a change of scenery. And you know what I'm saying? A.J. Brown grew up watching Julio Jones. That was his idol receiver.
Yeah.
So for Julio to say, nah, you keep that and you make a name of yourself, that's respect from him because he see the potential he see in A.J. Brown. And for Julio, he's bringing back number 2, baby. He's bringing back number 2. I know he was number 8 in Alabama, though, but he was 2 in high school. So if he say he can set the new tone for that New Jersey though, Trey. So we'll see from here though. But I think it's a lie though. I think like he didn't want it. He wanted AJ Brown to have it because he see the potential in this young man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's lies to say he should have accepted the offer. I think AJ Brown's earned his stripes on this team. He's earned his respect. AJ Brown. I told you the other day, man. AJ Brown is a future star in the NFL. I mean, his first 2 seasons being in the NFL, Clarence, he's had over 1,000 yards receiving. Yeah. Last year he had 11 touchdowns. In his rookie season, he had 8 touchdowns. So A.J. Brown, is a receiver that's on the come up, and he's a future star in this league. I think Julio Jones sees the potential that A.J. Brown has as well.
Exactly.
That's why he said, just keep number 11, man. You earned it.
Right. Man, I can't believe we agreed to that.
We agree on that.
So this is about to be controversy. LeBron James is 4-6 in the NBA Finals. So is it wise allowed to say LeBron James would not play in another NBA Finals again, Trey?
That's wise to say. I think LeBron James has played in his last NBA Finals, Clarence. When I look at the Western Conference, I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors. They're going to be getting Klay Thompson back. So that duo between Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, one of the best backcourts we have in the NBA. They are assassins from 3-point range. Okay, they're going to be back. All right, you look at the Denver Nuggets. They're going to get Jamal Murray back at some point next season. We already know that they're true contenders without Jamal Murray. So imagine them with Jamal Murray. They'll be better. You know what I mean? I look at the Phoenix Suns. They're not getting any younger. They're getting more experience in this year's playoffs.
Yeah.
Chris Paul playing at a high level. Devin Booker is a superstar in the NBA. So with that being said, I think the Lakers and LeBron James will not play in another NBA Finals anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it's lies though. I think it's more so lies because this Lakers team hasn't been in shape to even make a finals this year. They was all unhealthy. They was not healthy, and LeBron he missed 20 games this season.
Yeah.
He missed a lot of games. Him and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis been hurt since the last year final, so that's on him not taking care of his body. So if they can get their body all together and they back at 100%, I think they have a legitimate shot. I think they'd be one of the favorites in the Western Conference Finals again.
See, I disagree. I just think the Western Conference is so tough. There'll be a team that'll be contending, for a championship. I'm not going to sit up here and say that a team led by Anthony Davis and LeBron James won't be championship contenders.
Right.
They'll be championship contenders, but the question is whether or not they'll play again in another NBA Finals. I think the competition in the West is stiff. It's serious. And the Utah Jazz, they aren't going anywhere either. They're going to be around.
Depends on who they get in the free agency. If they could get a powerhouse team, they got a legitimate shot. They could possibly knock off the Warriors if they even end up meeting in the playoffs.
We'll see what happens. Let's switch gears back to some NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs have made 3 straight AFC Championship game appearances the last 3 years. So is it wise or lies to say, Clarence, that the Chiefs will make it back to the AFC Championship game for a 4th consecutive season? Is that wise or is that a lie?
I think it's a lie, man, because you see the emerge of these other teams in the AFC coming out. You got the Browns, you got the Titans, you got the Ravens still. Hell, you got the Colts coming up. You got a lot of sneaky teams that's coming up in the AFC that the Chiefs need to be more concerned about. The Bills, they getting better and better each and every year. Josh Allen is looking more so like an MVP. So I don't think Mahomes, I'm going to say it right now, and you can quote me on this, and everybody listen. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs is making the AFC Championship this season. I don't see it. It's a lot of talent in the AFC that's going to challenge them that want to get there. So I think it's a lie that the Chiefs not making the AFC Championship game.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it's wise to say the Chiefs will make it back to the AFC Championship game for a 4th consecutive season because I think the Chiefs actually got better this offseason, believe it or not. They really, really fixed their issues on that offensive line, Clarence. That's why they lost the Super Bowl, because they couldn't protect Patrick Mahomes. But they brought in Joe Thuney. They brought in Kyle Long. They really signed some guys that can help boost up that offensive line for Patrick Mahomes and protect Patrick Mahomes. You still got Travis Kelce. You still got Tyreek Hill. You got your weapons. You still got your weapons, at your disposal. So I think it's wise to say the Kansas City Chiefs will make it back to a 4th consecutive AFC Championship game.
I just think they're banking on Orlando Brown that they traded for Baltimore Ravens. So
Him too.
if he doesn't pan out, like you basically paying him $11 million and you're not gonna re-sign him, so you just wasted more draft picks getting him over. So I think he has to hit on it big.
Yeah, for sure, man.